Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Listen, we're here with Lewis. Good to see you, mate. Feels like we haven't spoken in that long, to be fair, but it's been long enough. I didn't see you after Lincoln. When was the last time we actually spoke? Like properly on here?
It would have been Munich before the game. We chilled in the pub for a little bit. Lincoln, I would have stayed, but I had one ride back from a mate of a mate, and if I didn't leave immediately, I had nothing.
Yeah, if it's a mate of a mate, then you got to get going. There's no hanging about. That's fair enough. Did he do it for free?
Yeah. I was like, shit, look, I'll buy your fucking food at the service station. I don't care. He's like, nah, it's all good. All right, but big up, man. God bless.
By the way, how did you find Lincoln, like, as an experience?
It was fun. Like, I had a good time. The football
Lincoln's
was horrid. Let's not get it twisted. That was a terrible game, but it was a good day out. It was nice, just chill, enjoy an away day. I don't really do it as much as I used to, so it was just a fun experience. Just thankfully, we won that.
Yeah, but it's an interesting time, mate. It's an interesting time to be a Chelsea fan. I feel like, so I did a poll, right, Lewis, and I said to people, do you feel like things are going to get better? Do you feel like we're in big trouble? Or do you feel like you don't really know how you feel? Like you haven't really made your mind up yet. And I think around 60% of people on this poll, and there's a couple hundred people that voted, 60% of them said that they think we're in big trouble. About 25% said they think we're going to get better, and the rest were sort of in no man's land, not really knowing how they feel yet. Which, by the way, I totally understand. I almost feel like I'm in that camp to an extent. Although I will obviously, I have an opinion on Maresca and the board, and obviously the owners, everything. But it's so early in the season that I can't even believe we're having this conversation, to be honest with you, Lewis. But like with anything, context is important. Some people care about it, some people don't. What is your take on this season? Obviously, won the Club World Cup, had a good end to the season last year, and now we've dived straight into a very competitive league, a league that's so ultimately improved with Champions League football as well. And you can't deny we've been underwhelming, and the results have been underwhelming. But there's just been such a backlash on the back of this Brighton game. Especially with the red card that we had against United as well, and even though we beat Lincoln, it was a pretty poor performance as well.
There's a lot of layers to this, because I think we all should have and could have probably gone into the season knowing that we were at least going to have a slow start, even with the fixtures. Like, I thought we had a favourable run, but I thought it still would be a bit difficult for us just based off the lack of pre-season and the amount of minutes that the squad has played as a whole. Now, that's why it was very important for us to take this window seriously and to build on us getting top 4 and build on us getting the Club World Cup, because that should have been something that helped catapult us. Do you remember when I said, like, a couple weeks after that I was already viewing the window as only a 4 because we weren't addressing the centre-back, we weren't addressing the goalkeeper? We have realized all of our worries in record time. It's just come at a much bigger rate than what I thought it was. 9 injuries, all based off the fact that we have played so many minutes. And little things like Fofana getting concussed and everything is by the by. You can't really accommodate for that. It is what it is. But we're always going to have bad injuries. With the amount of games that we have coming up, we're doing hella midweek games, and we have played so much games. The mileage on this squad is insane, and they have not strengthened at centre-back or at goal. And Maresca doesn't even trust our depth up top again. Last year it was I don't trust Nkunku and João Felix. Now it's I don't trust Garnacho and Gittins. And why should he? Why should he? Mark Hugh might be the victim of squad politics because we're thinking of sending him to Strasbourg and bringing in Omega in January, which means if we're thinking of that, he can't play for us anymore because he's already played for one club and you can't play for free in a season. So he can't play any minutes if that's the case. So it really is just João Pedro and pray. Because think about it, they'll say Hugh's there as an option. We haven't seen him for 1 minute. We are rather playing George in the middle again. This is all of our problems being realized in record time. And in spite of this, we only have one loss 11v11 since mid-March. And that was to Bayern Munich, probably the best performance against us in the Enzo Maresca era. The best team to play against us in the Maresca era. And I'm hearing Maresca out again. I'm hearing pot revisionism again. How stupid is this fan base? How dumb are some people at this fan base? I get it. You question Enzo Maresca for some of the decisions that he has made down to 10 men. But if you think it's got to a point where the manager needs to leave because we can't win games with a one-man disadvantage, do you know how brain dead that is? Yes, you must win with a disadvantage every single time. You can make better decisions, but it's not a level playing field anyway. For us to even be trying to act like that is a decision to jump off the cliff and say that he's not good enough because of our players' own bad decisions in game. Enzo Maresca literally came out after Manchester United and said, I would rather go a goal down than a man down. And what does Chalobah do? I'll go a man down. Last man. Again. Now, Santos threw him in that situation. They're both to blame. But for goodness sakes. Seriously? You're going to just let that one go in? We would have still controlled the game. That was our best performance up until that point. And then we still were playing well down to 10 men until we equalized. And Maresca made one change that I didn't like. Out of everything, it was one change. And it was taking off Neto for Lavia. I thought Lavia was fine when he came on, but I didn't need that. Like, I don't mind you going pragmatic and going defensive down to 10 men. If anything, it makes sense when you've got a lead. But you need outlets. You always need outlets. People saying you should be attacking down to 10 men, you're dumb. I don't need that. I need you to have outlets on the counter. You had Pedro Neto, you had João Pedro. Calm. Now, if you're taking off Neto, bring on a forward. Garnacho, Gittins, you pick a name out of a hat. I don't care. Like, they're all at the same level. George as well. Pick one of them. But have one of them with João Pedro. You took him off, you put a midfielder on. Now there's even more pressure on us because we don't have outlets. That's where Maresca fucked up in this game. Even against United, my problems with him were more lineup based. If Cole Palmer was that much of a doubt, he should never have started. He should have been given the Brentford treatment and came off the bench. Taking him off, that's a sub wasted. Both wingers should not have come off immediately if you already know Palmer's a doubt down to 10. You're going to have to hold the L and hook Palmer off early and explain that you just started him when he just wasn't ready to play a full 90 and couldn't cover the extra ground. Palmer should not have been in that lineup. Tosin should have started because Sesko was bad in the air and he clocked that, so he had to waste a substitute on bringing Tosin on and taking off another winger. Those were the problems in the United game. In terms of the substitutions, you look more to the lineup than that. And that's where the mistakes are made. Down to 10, you're always going to be on the back foot. This game, he made one bad sub. Santos off for Achimpong was the right move. You take a midfielder off, you keep your two most experienced ones on, and you add a centre-back. That makes sense. Gusto was the right move because we were starting to get targeted on the left-hand side. You bring on a right-back. The fact that Gusto was just crap is on Gusto because he's been crap for too long. But that's on him. His awful decision-making, that Ronaldo chop where you should have fucking crossed it to Neto and instead Ronaldo chopped it and sent it back to Enzo, who just did the same thing that he should have done anyway. But the attack's dead because you've gone backwards. It's him. You're the problem. But it was the right move to bring him on. Lavia for Neto, not the right move. Should have taken off Enzo if you're going to do that. Midfielder for midfielder, fine. Fine. Badiashile for Hato, fine. Centre-back for centre-back. Why are we complaining? Neto, you should not have made that change. But if I'm looking at Maresca, that's all he did wrong. So all this discourse is over us not winning 10v11. Bad performances. I mean, Liverpool aren't looking amazing in performances. They're just pulling results. Arsenal, same energy. They're not looking amazing. They're just getting results. We are not getting results 10v11 with a squad that's rusty and has got too much mileage this season. And we're saying the manager out off the basis of 2 substitutions. This is where we're at as a club. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Everything we look at is just straight recruitment. Maresca doesn't trust the forwards. Why did you bring Garnacho and Gittins? I've been telling you, why spend 90 million on left wing depth when this man came out and said, I need a centre back? You told him, I have internal solutions. Here's your internal solution. Josh Achimpong, responsible for all 3 goals. All 3 goals he plays a part in. I feel sorry for the kid because we're putting too much responsibility on him. It shouldn't even be getting to this point. The ones up above decided that this was going to be the point. Now we're talking about Achimpong, Hato and Badiashile against the Premier League champions on Saturday. Well done. Well done. It all goes to recruitment. Screaming out for a centre-back and a goalkeeper the entirety of Maresca's fucking reign. And who's the last 2 centre-backs we have bought? Anselmino and Disasi. Alright, cool. The goalkeeper, how Ben Roberts is employed, I don't get it. Because, like, Sanchez is so shit at distribution, it's insane. And Jorgensen is somehow worse. These are the goalkeepers you tried to run for 2 straight Premier League seasons with. And manager. It's the manager that's the problem. How about you have a good window? Clear Lake have a good window challenge. It seems fucking impossible. Because you just ignore key areas and just pick whatever young player that you fancy. Joe Shields going for the City graduate as per. Win Stanley has had a hard-on for Garnacho all of 2025. And they can't pick and choose. They go and get both and waste all of our transfer budget while we already have a UEFA squad cap. Now, if we don't get top 4, key players are going to have to go at that point. Nicholas Jackson can't even be a part of that because he's not in our Champions League squad. Well done. All you had to do was just keep your phone on silent for 2 days and he'd have to come back. And then I've got a striker that Maresca can trust. One that can stretch the defensive line, bully centre-backs and keep space open for the likes of Estabao and João Pedro. It's a fucking mess. But they want to blame the coach. Look above him. 4 shit windows in a row. But the sporting directors are the ones that got a contract extension. They got one before Caicedo. The nerve. The nerve. This is Fanbase for you. But I knew, like, half this Fanbase just went on mute after we won the World Cup because they wouldn't dare run their shitty Maresca narratives after that. And they've come crawling out the cockroach out the woodwork after a couple of defeats because they've been waiting for this. They don't like this football. Oh, it's boring. It's sideways. Do you want to know why the football is boring and slow? It's because of the amount of minutes that we have played and the fact that he doesn't trust the depth of the squad. So if we're in a controlling position, we are going to slow down the tempo because if we slow down the tempo, the players are running less. Keeps them fitter for longer. It's going to be like this for a long time this season because of the mileage that we've been under and the lack of a pre-season. But the fact that we've only lost 1 game down to 11 men, Fairs. Because I know what the problem is. Stupidity and a poor window, as usual. And yeah, I think that's everything off my chest. Fucking joke.
Good morning, Chelsea.
Yeah, good morning. Let's probably just go out in the morning, innit?
Well, good afternoon.
Oh,
good
the last
24
hours have just spun my fucking head. All the stupid takes I'm seeing. I saw someone post a picture of John Terry getting sent off against Barcelona, and they were saying, what would Maresca do in this situation? Did we attack Barcelona down to 10? You fucking idiot. You know we didn't even have any defenders left on the bench because Bazingwa already came on for an injured Cahill before the red. Well, what would Maresca have done? You fucking idiot. You picked a game where we defended for our lives down to 10. Genius.
Well, I can't say that. To be fair, it's hard to keep up with all of those points, but I understand your frustration, Lewis. I share it to an extent. I also understand, having once been one of those fans myself who didn't like Maresca, I understand why they feel the way they do. I suppose if you're only looking at style of play and that is your number one priority, I don't think that Maresca will ever be the manager for you. I just don't think he'll ever be that. My thing was always, if it looks good and it's entertaining, it negates, I'm not saying it prioritizes, but it can negate a lack of success. If you win, no matter how you win, if you're winning trophies, if you're competing, if you're being competitive in that sense, it doesn't matter how you play because you're winning. If you can bring the two together, you're in dreamland. And I think the last time we had that was Thomas Tuchel, right? So we have come to be in this position where you've got a certain number of Chelsea fans who are saying we need to have standards. And you've got another set of Chelsea fans who are more realistic or patient, you could say, who say, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. And then people reference what Roman Abramovich did and the success that he brought in. And the fact that we've spent so much money and for what? Where are all these players that we've spent all this money on? Where's that investment gone? And we pissed a lot of money down the drain. I mean, that no doubt about that. But I can confidently say that for me, I'm on the fence, to be honest with you, Les. I'm on the fence. I really don't know what I think. For me to flip on Maresca would be disingenuous because it took so long for him to convince me that he was the right man. I now have credit and proof in the bank that this man has what it takes to lead Chelsea to not one trophy, 2 trophies, and European football as well in terms of the Champions League. That is 3 boxes
keeps
ticked.
you honest. That's what keeps you honest about it. There's a lot of people running this standards bullshit and then completely negating any goodwill that Maresca has off the back of 9 games after us winning our 2nd trophy this year. 9 games and only 1 loss within that time, 11 versus 11. Maresca, to me, these guys have just been chatting out of their arse because you know what, like boring football aside and everything, you know what people like? They like results. They like results. Like we could play the most boring brand of football if we get results, great. We got the results and they still want him gone without any context for a few other games. If you are, these men will talk about standards and then genuinely value entertainment. I won't even say performance. Entertainment over success. The amount of pot revision is I see again. It is September 2025. You shameless fucks. And man are talking about Pochettino and how much better the football was back then.
Well, people
being
are saying
11th
that right now.
in April and everything. Yeah, I'm still seeing that shit on the timeline. I'm still arguing with people in group chats over it. September 2025. And we're still doing 11th in April. That's what you lot want to bring back. Oh, but he beat Brighton down to 10 men. Oh, great. Great. You know who he didn't beat down to 10 men? Burnley. With their manager sent off. We can go tit for tat. I don't mind. But you, man, want to back the manager with the worst defensive record and then say you would prefer that football? What do you think he'd do? What do you think he'd do with the defenders that we have right now? We don't even have a Thiago Silva to try and save us with that shit structure. We got Jarell Hatto. God bless his soul. You had a decent game. And fucking Achimpong. Like, God bless him, man. But you've been thrown in the deep end. This is where the problem is. It's just recruitment. How about you recruit a good enough squad? You know? I'm saying neglecting key areas constantly.
But even with the recruitment, do you understand why people are angry with the decisions that Maresca is making?
No, because they overinflate it. They talk about all of his decisions down to 10 men. When you really look at it, 1 substitution was the problem. Man United don't take off both wingers. Take Palmer off first and another one of them. Done. This game, don't take off Neto for another midfielder. Lavia for Enzo instead. You had 1 more sub available. Neto off, pick a forward. But we're talking about 1 sub and again, 10v11. Like, I get like the draw against Brentford, not great. Am I going to blame Maresca for 6 players falling asleep at a long throw? That is 1 moment of them fucking up a win, and Maresca's game management in that game worked. The players fumbled it. So how are you blaming him?
You're going to have to explain that to a lot of people. because
But
there
that's
are
the thing, they don't want to hear context. Crystal Palace is always a difficult team. They've been unbeaten in their last 18 games. They've just beaten Liverpool twice. West Ham, slow start, whooped them 5-0. Fulham, slow start, first half, we won the game, who gives a damn? Bayern Munich, bopped by the better team, fairs. Maresca's game management was poor in that game. I say nothing about that because that was Maresca. Sub should have been made at halftime. He made him at 3-1. That's on you. Man United, 1 sub was the problem. Bayern, 1 sub was the problem. Lincoln, Maresca had to give them the hairdryer just for them to wake up for 5 minutes and bag 2 goals. So I don't get it. I don't. It's stupid. And it's from the same people that gave Poch all season. Shut up. This guy's won 2 trophies. You man talked about wanting Chelsea to get back to where they were before. He's brought us the closest to it out of everyone in the Clear Lake era. How about you give him some fucking grace? Fucking 2 months into the season, we've had 2 weeks of a pre-season.
We're supposed to be having this conversation in January, mate.
We're having it in September. Maybe we should look at the people above the manager.
Well, I've always said, Lewis, even, what you're talking about the recruitment, I've always said that it's the owners, because they set out the parameters, don't they? In terms of what we could do. Do you honestly believe that it's the recruitment that decided not to spend an extra 4 million on I don't really get it. I don't understand it.
Because it's the resale value thing, and he's got a year left on his contract, so they could probably try snipe him on a free next year.
Because for me, the standard
and that money's got to go towards them 2 left wingers, man. Because we didn't know what our outgoings were going to be like until near deadline day.
Yeah, I do think the recruitment could have been better in a number of areas. I wouldn't have given the window a 4 out of 10. I said it was a 7 last time we spoke. I still probably would say it's a 7, to be honest with you. I think that if we would have got a centre back and a goalkeeper, it would have been a 10. For me.
How is it a 7 before that? That's what I don't get.
Well, we didn't have cover for Cucurella. Now we do. I would say that Estevao is an upgrade on Dewsbury Hall or Madueke. I'd say that Garnacho is an upgrade on Mudryk. I don't think that Gittins is an upgrade on Sancho. I would have kept him if that was my choice. I think that we now have cover for Caicedo with Asugo that we didn't necessarily have because Lavi is not reliable. I think Andre Santos gives us more depth. So all in all, and the strikers, I thought they're both fucking brilliant signings, the strikers, so I see a lot of good things.
It wasn't until we realised João Pedro's better just behind the striker.
Well, point taken, but the point still stands that he's a player that upgrades his squad and makes it better, right?
No, I hear all of that, but we knew 3 key points: goalkeeper, centre back, striker. And you're telling me I've done a third of that.
Lewis, Delap is a good striker as well. For me, Delap's an upgrade on Jackson. So
I'm not saying he's bad. But if the best way we play is with them both together, you are going to need cover for Delap then. Because João Pedro isn't the cover now. He's playing behind him.
I'm with you. I mean, at that time, we didn't know that.
But instead, we send Jackson away on a loan with an option. So now we can't even sell him for the UEFA squad cost ratio next season. That money doesn't go to it anymore. So even that's fumbled. Now you're thinking about who you're going to sell next summer if you want to bring in more players. But that's by the by. In terms of this window, goalkeeper, centre-back, striker, we got 1 of the 3. So 33% was what was done. That sounds about like a 4. That sounds about 4 out of 10 to me.
In key positions like centre-back and goalkeeper, I'm with you. I mean, the goalkeeper frustrated no one more than me, Lewis. I fucking hated Sanchez, and I love Petrovic. Petrovic frustrated me more than Manyan, because I was really excited to see Petrovic playing for us.
Either or would have been fine, man. I would have preferred Mignon, but if you give me Petrovic, it ain't Sanchez, whatever.
Yeah. And the centre-back, I mean, we were looking at Huijsen, but that never happened. I think then it's about profile, right? So if someone can name me names that we can actually get, I'm totally open to it. It's just that I don't
Mark
think
Guehi, Andreas Christensen, Alessandro Ribeiro.
Guehi, Liverpool,
all
Christensen.
3 of them could do the centre back role that Cole
I know you
has.
want Christensen, but I don't know if that one would. I mean, we'll see. Who's the other
Profiles,
guy?
like banter aside, his profiles. He's a ball-playing centre back that thrived in the middle of a back three, as we've seen at Chelsea. We need that profile. He would have fit in perfectly. Mark Guehi, same energy. Ribeiro, same energy. They're all right there,
Let me
and
just
they would have been relatively cheap
clear.
prices. Yeah, he would be 20% cheaper because the sell-on clause.
Yes,
you just take it off.
I'll be very clear. I'm frustrated with what I'm seeing, but I can't sit here and act like we're on the decline in terms of like on paper. I think that we're in a situation now where the standard is higher, the expectation is higher, the pressure's higher, the intensity is higher because we've got Champions League football.
And also because the mileage the squad's got as a whole.
I think everything is just a little bit harder this year than it was last season. And you need a better squad to do that. Do we have a better squad? I'd argue we do. To be honest with you, I would definitely make
it's
that argument.
It's an on-paper thing because, like, with everybody fit, I hear all of that. The problem is,
so that's my argument. I'm not talking about.
I have to pray to God that we keep him fit all season because, like, he's going to be one of our only hopes at the back, and he is our best centre back when fit. I will still stand by that. And Colwill, we lost our most important and reliable defender, and these sporting directors just said, "All right, big up, man. Deal with it." We got action pump. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Like, and they got a 6-year extension for that shit.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. But you look at that, and the fact that we've had a window of opportunity to build off the World Cup, and they failed to do that. There's the biggest problem right in front of you. I'm not saying that the squad's even regressed like that. I think Garnacho to Mudryk, sideways move. Gittins to Sancho, I rate Sancho a bit more, but that entire left wing, all four of them is the generational mid-off. I don't care. Whatever. Like, you've gone sideways on both at most, unless they develop. But I don't think we've got weaker anywhere. We have just failed to improve in the same areas. Goalkeeper,
there's definitely an argument for that. I mean, it's
that's why the window can't be a 7.
Well, I'll be honest with you, mate. Like 7 for me is maybe not as high as 7 for other people. Like 7 for me is decent, not terrible, not great. It's decent. Maybe I could settle for a 6. All right, and I would feel the same way. So if a 6,
even then, you just think it's more of an average window.
Average, yeah. It was
cool.
All right.
For me, I was thinking you're saying 7 is near excellent. That's where I had it.
Okay, no. For me, that's when you get 8.
I think the 5 is the middle. I think you're thinking 6 is the middle.
6 for me is like, yeah, it's all right. 6 is
yeah,
all right.
I think, we're viewing average at a different number then. All right,
that's
cool.
fine.
At least I know.
I mean, as I said, if we had a goalkeeper and a centre back, I would have given it a 10. I would have been absolutely chuffed. But maybe I'm just more relaxed than most people. The point being, though, is that we're in a situation now where people are genuinely going, and I had this argument with Charlie. Alex, you keep saying that things are going to get better. Are you going to say that if we lose to Benfica? Are you going to say that after Liverpool, after Forest, if we lose those games? And it's like, well,
why are people worried about Forest out of all of them?
I'm not saying that he's worried, but it's just just the fixtures that are out there, right?
No, I get that, but for me, it's like, look, we've just got to get through these next 2 games and just like leave with something. Because after that, I think our fixtures again turn more favourable, and then we have Fofana back and Cole Palmer too. That should strengthen us a lot better. So, like, look, if you look at our fixtures, right? I did this on my stream just earlier. So we have Nottingham Forest, then we have Sunderland, and then I think it's Tottenham away and Wolves at home before the break. Karabag and Ajax in the Champions League. Sorry, all winnable. All winnable. And I know we said that about the games earlier, but number one, no preseason. You are definitely going to look more rustier in the first few games of the campaign. And second of all, can you just keep 11 men on the fucking pitch for 90 minutes? Maybe we'd be all right. Maybe we'd just be all right.
We're not asking for a lot here, Lewis.
Just someone loses their head on some stupidness.
Yeah, we're not asking for the world here. We're not asking.
But this is why I think managers panicking too much. Just get through the next 2 games. Anything. Take it. You beat Benfica. They're shit. I don't care if Mourinho's there. We bopped them off the park in the Club World Cup. Don't care. Liverpool, well, do something. Leave with something in it. I beg you, leave with something.
I'm looking forward to that game. We always have a good game against Liverpool at home, to be fair. We don't always win, but we always have a good game. So I expect that one to be entertaining. But no, I'm with you, Lewis. I'm with you. We need to drag some results up. We need to pick up some. We just need confidence, mate. Ultimately, I think that such a young team, you need that confidence. And maybe it's the opposite of last season, where we started off quite humble. And then we got to the stage in December where even our own manager was trying to humble us because we were getting to the stage, we're going to win the Premier League. Oh, my God, we're actually challenging. And now it's almost like we've won 2 trophies. We're in the Champions League. I'm not saying there's an arrogance about us. That's certainly not what I'm saying. But maybe there's an element of that. Maybe there's an element of people just getting a little bit relaxed. People not really focusing on what they need to do as much as they should. And I would much rather struggle now than in January, than in February, like we did last year. I would much rather have a breeze going into 26, mate, and go, you know what, Chelsea are on the up. You know what I've been saying for the last few years, Lewis? I didn't feel like it under Maresca, but I can say it now because it's done. We've been on an upward trend, mate. And this is one of the reasons, we're not going to debate it, but this is one of the reasons I didn't mind Poch, because we improved on the season before. Now, whether people like that or not,
you are consistent on that. I hear it.
It's true. You know, we went from 12th to 6th to 4th. So I'm telling you right now, what can we do to improve on that league finish? Well, you can either finish on more points or in a higher league position. What about European? We're in a different competition. Hard to judge. Club World Cup, can't judge. So I need a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, or I need to at least us get more competitive in both of those competitions. To show some
what they
form
briefed
of
earlier today.
Sorry, mate.
You see what they just briefed over the last couple of hours. Maresca's target is top 4 and a run in the cups.
Yes,
go for a run in the cups.
Lewis,
give it a go. Yeah, sick that made me feel, man. It just confirmed everything that I was saying. We are overachieving and going above their schedule. Remember when Maresca said first season was just like, oh, let's just play good football, build the team up together. We're gonna be more cohesive and all of that. There's no targets because there wasn't. Not well, obviously top 4 quietly. We're not going to tell everyone, but that's there. But you get that, you go and consolidate it again next season, then compete for the league the season after when Quenda and maybe Mignon and Penders and Sarah all back, and then the next year is when we go and win it. Maybe Pies comes back as well, but that's the plan, to win the league in 3 years from 3 seasons, this season and the next 2. That's the plan. And we went ahead of schedule by winning the World Cup. We weren't expected to be there. Quarterfinals, we faced PSG. You're big up, man. It was a nice run and everything. We're back to England. Then we ended up winning it. They didn't expect that. But they just thought it'd give them a bit of leeway. It did, until you dropped this shit window on our heads. And you just lost all of that. We're still going to big it up because we're world champions. At least we got that. But
that helps.
Fuck you lot. Fuck you lot. You didn't build on it. You just said, we're going to rest on our laurels. We'll get top 4 again. Cool.
I mean, Lewis, I'm okay with the brief, if you want to call it that. If that is genuinely what we're going to go out and do. If we finish in the Champions League again and we get a cup run, I will consider that to be an improvement. 100%.
Winning run?
Winning the fucking cup.
Okay. By a run, I thought you meant the same thing. Give it a go, go for a run. No, I don't want to go for a run. I want to win it.
Yes,
I want a trophy.
Are you sure that's not what they mean?
No, I could go for a run in the cup. That just means, look, you can make a final or everything. That's all right. That's all right. That's what it sounds like to me. Go for a run in the cup. Just say win it. Literally, it's titled Run in the Cups.
Well, no, for me, you got to win the cup. But saying that, Lewis, if we got final and semi-final in both those cups, that would still be improvement. I mean, I'm not saying I'm happy with it, but it would be an improvement. But I would be okay with us finishing in the top 4 and winning a domestic cup and getting through the league phase in the Champions League. That's sort of my bare minimum. And I can say categorically we've improved, because getting through the group phase in the Champions League is harder than winning the Conference League. Winning the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup is also harder than winning the Conference League. And there's just a bit more prestige in winning a domestic trophy. Like, we haven't won one in a while. Wembley's been a nightmare for us. So it'd be nice to actually have some success there, to be honest, mate. But
yeah,
I don't understand.
But for me, top four, like, I'm not going to be happy with being in another top four race. The bare minimum for me would be if we're not in the title race.
Lewis. It's competing for the title for longer. So our title run finished at the end of December, beginning of January. So I'm saying if you can extend that to March, that's an improvement categorically. Now, people will say,
well, I mean, if we lose to Liverpool, it's 10 points already.
Well, yeah, people will say, Alex, where's your standards? But I will say when it's not good enough, but you cannot deny what we've seen over the past couple of years. You can't deny the improvement. So once that changes, then I'll change. And you don't sell stock if it's going up. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm holding on to my Chelsea stock. But
for me, it's just if we're not winning, if we're not in a title race, a boring season. Have me finish third, too good for top four, not good enough for the title race. Yeah, I want to be bored, just like, all right, we're stable, we're comfortable. I ain't got to worry too much about me. I'm just not winning nothing in this league. Fine. But compete for everything else, and you need to win something. The winning mentality must at least keep going. Because you have to build off being world champions. Go and win a trophy. One of them. Show me some armpits. I don't give a shit. Whatever trophy it is, we take it. It's like what Mourinho said. Mourinho was saying that about Maresca earlier. He was like, if you can't win the Premier League, go win something. He went and won the Conference League. That's very important for building the winning mentality, just like the Carabao Cup was for me. Literally said that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you
on that. Build on it.
It's interesting as well, because there was a poll on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. It was on Pies' page. Who do you blame the most for the start to the season? 54% of people said the ownership of directors. 24% said the players. And 21% said Maresca. So most people think it's the ownership and the directors. And I'm totally with them, to be honest with you. I'm totally with them. The problem is that not everybody can see it, because those decisions spread over a long period of time in terms of the impact, whereas managerial mistakes or players that cost us, you see that on a match day, and you get really emotional, and I can understand it. But we are being run by a private equity firm, and ultimately there's only one priority there. It's to make money. I mean, that's never changed for me, Lewis, to be honest with you. Even with our success, I understand it. I get it.
Even then, but like, you built a squad good enough that like you can still be successful and just make some smart signings.
Well, that's
I've never said everything they've done is wrong. It's just stupid.
In a weird way,
key areas that need to be strengthened so the squad can be more competitive and make you more money. I was like, what's wrong with you lot?
This is where I almost defend, though, Winstanley and Stewart. Not that I like them, but they are not able to just go out and buy any player. Their players they have to be a certain age. They have to be on a certain wage. They have to be willing to sign a long contract. They have to fit into our structure, our incentives. You're cutting out a lot of elite players.
Only get a 4-year.
Sorry, mate?
Didn't Tosin only get a 4-year? Like, the older players you could get for like less years, as long as it fits the wage structure. Christensen would, Gehi would, and Ribeiro would.
Mate. Tosin's not relevant because he was free. I mean, that literally proves the point. If you sold him for £2 million, it would be £2 million of profit, and that's what it's about. So you are restricting yourself. Now, if Christensen is free, if he is available on the market for a free, that's fine. But then ask yourself, would he fit into our wage structure? Now, I don't know what he's on at Barcelona. I actually know that 140. Okay, well, I would say that's attainable. That is attainable if he was willing to fit into what we're doing. But you have to remember that Tosin's on about 130, 120. Cole Palmer's only on about 10, 15 grand more than Tosin. So is Christensen going to be willing to take a pay cut to go in line with those other players? And that's the question you have to ask about every elite player that comes to Chelsea. Are they willing to fit into that? Now, if I'm an elite player leaving a top club, I want a pay rise, Lewis. unless I'm going to a fucking great club, and that's what they do for Barcelona. They're willing to take pay cuts, but they won't do that for Chelsea. You know, they won't do it unless you're a Garnacho, unless you're a João Felix, unless you're a player like Jadon Sancho.
Or unless you're a player, or you're a team that's really on the cusp or already winning major honors. You show that you can up a player's career, they might be willing to do that.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate that we're still an attractive club, but you can't deny that there are players just above the level of what Chelsea can offer in terms of finances, mate. And we would have Manyan, we would have Osimhen if we were able to just go out and spend the money, but we're not.
No, so but Mignon, like Osimhen, I hear it because of the wages he's on. I get it. Mignon's on 58k a week, and they said no over 8 million, then bunged another 40 on Garnacho. Like, it's just incompetence.
But you know what?
That brother is attainable for every aspect of this model.
But you understand why they do it. They do it because they know they could get their money back for Garnacho. They know that they could flip him. And that's why they don't do it for older, more experienced players, because it's harder to get the wages off the books and their value goes down if they're too old.
Garnacho's shown nothing to even like hint of that, though.
I disagree with that. I think that Garnacho had a good game against Brentford, bar the mistake defensively, and I think he had a good impact against Bayern.
Goal. That mistake cost us the game.
Yeah,
so it undoes everything he did before that. But and even then, it was like a good cutback.
On the ball, I think Garnacho's shown that he can offer a lot. I'm actually surprised he hasn't had more minutes, to be honest with you.
I haven't seen nearly anything bar that little cameo at Brentford that got ruined by him falling asleep at the back post. Like Bayern, who's just better than an awful Neto because he didn't rush all of his actions, but he still didn't do nothing. Lincoln, he got cussed out by their fans for 60 minutes and proceeded to do absolutely nothing to like silence them. It was like,
well, nobody did anything, Lewis. It wasn't just Garnacho.
Oh yeah. It's not just a single him. We're talking about his performances in isolation. What?
In the first half against Lincoln, he was one of our better players. Not saying they were good, but he was one of the better ones.
I saw like 2 or 3 drives from him.
And Gittins were our 2 best players in the first half against Lincoln.
That's probably have to pull a name out of a hat with them one. I would have said maybe Andre Santos or something.
But no, man, listen, we've got so much more to play. You know, we've got so much more to play. We shouldn't be having these conversations. I don't know what's going to happen against Benfica. I really don't.
This fan base is fuck all composure. That's why.
Well, I mean,
Sky is falling gimmick every week, and then they say we pretend to do it for views. You lot do it for fucking free, mate.
Well, that's one way of saying it. What about Enzo Fernandez, mate? Because I was having a conversation with.
Actually, no, he was actually good last game. Am I kidding?
Yeah, I was having a chat with Dan, and we were talking about the fact that Maresca's basically got him going further up the pitch, getting into those areas, getting on the end of crosses. I'm trying to think of the word off the top of my head. What's the name? Box? No, not box to box. The profile. A midfielder that goes in. Box crasher. That's what I'm thinking of. And I feel like Enzo Fernandez has been a lot better in that sense. But I do think that other parts of his game have gotten a little bit worse, man. I don't think he's as attractive on the eye to watch, but I can accept that when I'm getting goals. And I do think that he's one player that can actually offer us something. And one thing as well, Lewis, even though Andre Santos didn't have a great cameo against Brighton, would you like to see that midfield trio of Fernandez?
Santos was great. He made one stupid mistake. That was it. But I thought Santos was great past that. Like, I thought a lot of our team played well before the red card. That was our best performance. We had Brighton locked up. They had no threat to us. And then a dumb red ruined it all. But that's what I can't hear. This Maresca bullshit. Like we were bad all game. We were good up until it was 1-1. And then it all fell apart because we were down to 10 men and he took off another outlet. Criticize him for that.
You know, the difference between United is when we played United, even when they were 2-0 up, I still thought they are just crap. Like I said that half time, I was like, they are rubbish. But against Brighton, I genuinely felt like we were so out of control. Like they were totally dominant. They were knocking it about. We couldn't press. There was space everywhere. They could just pick
Only
their
down
pass.
to 10 though.
No, I know we're down to 10, but that's the thing, isn't it?
But you're going to concede that when you've got one less man on the pitch. Before that, there was nothing like that. Brighton didn't have a single response to us before that. So it's like
I think the first half was actually quite decent in a lot of ways, but it's hard. It's hard to speak about the good when that didn't ultimately make the impact. The result didn't go that way. So I understand.
No, I hear all of that. It's just people should not be lying about the bad. And they're like, oh, yeah, everything was bad. It was horribly managed and all of that. No, we went down to 10. The fuck?
You know,
Brentford wasn't badly managed either. Stupid mistakes. United, done in 5 minutes, record time. You fumble that game up. Bayern, horribly managed. I hear that one. Bayern, horribly managed.
I'm interested by the stat you said earlier about how many games we've actually lost. So what was the stat that you mentioned? Because obviously we lost 2 games.
One lost out 11v11 since mid-March.
Yeah, that's
Bayern Munich, and the last 11v11 loss before that was Arsenal, and it was 1-0 because of a set piece.
And do you know how many draws are in there? How many losses? Sorry, how many wins? Just to give people a bit of context.
Just for the sake, draws. I could just wheel it up now, to be fair. Draws. So Brentford, we have.
I can't believe that.
Ipswich.
When you said that did surprise me.
Brentford again, and that's all the way up to the Arsenal match. So 3 draws, and the rest are all victories. Aye, crisis though. Shit manager. You know.
Hang on a sec. 3 draws. Say that again. Brentford.
2 Brentford games and Ipswich. They're only draws. That's it.
Everything else
we won all the others.
And how many games was that, Lewis? 20? 25?
From the Arsenal game. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 games.
30 games, and how many losses? 3.
11v11 or with the 10v11?
All of it.
Okay, so all of it. Then that would be, I think it's 5 losses.
That's not bad, mate. That's not bad.
1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then you have Flamengo, you have Arsenal, you have Newcastle. So I have 6.
I've seen a lot worse, mate. If that's telling people that Maresca needs to be sacked, then I don't get that at all. I don't understand it.
This is why I'm getting so angry over it. It's so stupid. And they're turning over the manager over the people that fucking hired him and don't back him. It's so brain dead. That's why I'm saying this fan base is stupid. Dumb fan base, man.
Yeah. If they are going to sack him, then Winstanley and Stewart need to go as well. Do you include Joe Shield?
They just gave a 6-year extension to. Huh.
Well, I'm just saying that would be the logical approach. I mean, they keep making mistakes, then
but they're not going to do it. And then they'll either bring in De Zerbi if you're lucky, or it'll be Liam Rosin, or just some flavour of the month for the championship.
Oh God, please don't tell me that.
McKenna, man, he's still at Ipswich.
No, I don't need that. I don't need that again, mate. I don't need that again. You know what? You know, one thing I like about Maresca is I've seen success. Thank God that we've seen success. We have something to cling on to.
Mm-hmm.
If we end up going in that direction,
I'm rinsing that world championship for everything it's worth.
We are. Fucking God. Hey, Lewis, let's talk about Benfica. Come on, Mourinho's returning to Stamford Bridge. He's paid compliments to Chelsea, but it's kind of like a backhanded compliment when he talks about how we were a winning machine, but not necessarily implying that we won any more.
No, but he did say Maresca's like building the right pieces. And
did he? Okay, all right.
Yeah, because a lot of people just clipped up whatever quotes they wanted for their fucking narratives because they love that shit. But when you actually see the whole thing, like I think I still have little snippets of it here. Like, yeah, so he said, winning Chelsea's Abramovich Chelsea, my Chelsea, the Chelsea who built and lasted for many years was a winning club. It was winning everything with me and Carlo, Conte, Tuchel were a winning machine. Then there was a big change with crazy investment. In a period of few years, it looked like they lost direction. Too many players, too many millions, an accumulation of players, and a team without a clear philosophy. For a couple of years, it was hard. For one that loves the club, it was hard. That was another one that was doing the rounds a lot. Maresca arrived, and step by step, the puzzle was made. Even the Conference League is a fantastic competition for a team like that to win. It gives you the first cup and the philosophy and the culture of the club for winning. If you cannot win the Premier League, you win something. So they won the Conference League. Then they went to the States and come back with a big badge on their chest. So now they have a good team. So he's actually praising the direction that we're in.
Well, big up to Mo, and I'm going to be sitting behind him.
People didn't want to talk about that because they don't suit their shit narratives. Sorry.
It's all right. Could be something. I'll tell you what, this has been I don't know why I expected this to be more of just going through all of the latest talking points at Chelsea, but there is really, that is the main thing at the moment. It's just this division. I can't even believe that we're having that conversation between Maresca in, Maresca out, and we reset, Welcome to Chelsea. If anyone is new to the channel, welcome.
Yeah.
This is how it is. But I think we're going to continue to have this, Lewis. I don't think it's going away because I don't think the style, like you mentioned, I don't think the style is going to change that much. It's just a question of can we grind out the results and just shut people up that way. If we continue to drop points, mate, and we are lingering in 7th, 8th, it could get to that stage, then that's going to be a huge concern. I don't really take the league table with too much seriousness just because it's so early. But if I'm having this conversation in December, mate, then you have to admit it is concerning. And also you have to say as well, Lewis, like, even though they're not backing him with a centre-back, any other manager would have the same problems as well. So even if you sack Maresca, you'd still have a lack of options. You'd still have the same goalkeeper. You'd still have a shortage up front because Delap's injured. You still have all the same issues. So I don't really understand how things get better just because you sack the manager. Maybe we play a slightly more attractive style of football, but I've always argued that Pochettino's style was more entertaining than Maresca. I probably still stand by that, to be honest with you. But did we get results every week? No. But I thought drawing 4-3 against United was one of the most amazing days I've ever had watching football. Like 4-4 against City was unreal. I loved it. So there's two sides to it, mate. But I think ultimately people are looking at it from they want everything. They want it all. And I just don't think you can have it. Not unless you're Man City.
You try and play that roller coaster football with the amount of mileage this squad's had and with training like that. Oh, brother, you think our injuries are a problem now? We would be wheeling in the under 18 Shimwaker, that Whisper kid, Ibrahim Rabaj, all them guys. All of them would be getting wheeled into the first team. Like, we are playing safe, boring football because the players have played too much and you don't trust the depth. So if you want us to win games, we're going to have to use these first teamers as much as we can because, number one, we've got big injuries and depth that the manager does not trust.
Yeah.
So it all comes back to recruitment after all.
I want to see Gusto step up. I think that he's had a better season if I'm including the Club World Cup. I do think he's been better than he was, last season.
I'm still very close to just wanting him to leave. I
was frustrated with him against Bayern. I was frustrated with him against Brighton.
Mate, João Pedro ran through on goal against Bayern and this fucker thought, let me cut inside to my left foot and have a pop at goal. You have not had a career goal in your life. When did you think it was coming from your weak foot outside the box at the Allianz? Well, really,
I
he
didn't
just
realize
does,
that
he
until
just does
recently.
stupid things. And then
Yeah,
they'll be like,
no,
oh, he worked under Poch. Yeah, no wonder he worked under the Roadrunner system. Meet, run to the byline and cross the ball.
at least I can laugh, Lewis. At least I can laugh. Yeah, I don't really have an awful lot more to say, to be honest with you. I think the main thing is just see what happens against Benfica. Do you have anything else to add, Lewis?
Look, just get to the international break, you know. I was gonna say, just get to the break. Try and not lose any more games. Try and not have any more suspensions. And yeah, beat Benfica, because you still can do that. Chalobah can still play that. Although, to be honest, I don't even know if we need him to play. He actually played well before the red, but his confidence is just in the fucking bin right now. And a friend, as a friend, please get off Twitter, mate. It's not healthy for you right now over there. Please just get off it for your own benefit, man. For your own He is so chronically online, and I ain't gonna say nothing about it because I'm chronically online myself. But bro,
Who's
when you're
online?
getting 100%, man. I'm on
Who?
YouTube or I'm on like Twitter or I'm always on something.
Who?
But
Which
Chalobah.
player? Oh, sorry.
Bro,
Okay.
he's on a blocking spree right now. And again, you're getting abused. I get it, but don't, like I was saying when he got a red card, I was like, brother, someone take his phone. Someone take his phone right now. Take his. Don't go on Twitter. I beg, for your own good. So yeah, I had his confidence in the bin personally, but he should play against Benfica. We should still be able to beat them because we are just straight better than them. Liverpool, pray to God, man. Just leave us something. Leave us something.
I think, yeah, it's going to be. I'm got
Achimpong, Hato, and Badia Shield against Eka, TK, and Isak. Then pray to God, man. You go 1-0 up and play the most sinful, boring, sideways football I've seen in my life. Go for it. Go for it. Take something.
Oh, God.
It's bleak. It's fucking bleak, mate. But hey, thanks for another great window, Clear Lake. How about you have a good window for once?
Have hope. Have some faith, please. Have some faith.
Yeah, I want to. I believe we can beat anyone on our day. But shit, these injuries have fucked us. Okay, I'll just call it what it is. We got 9 players out.
Oh, God.
I have one fit centre-back against the Prem champions. I believe we can beat anybody on our day, but like, shit. I'm just trying to lead that game with something.
When's our day? I guess that's what we need to find out. But
I hope Saturday is our day. I'd love to shut them up. I really would. But I don't fucking see it. Yeah, the best, it might be just a little 1-1. What?
I was going to say, which Liverpool fans do you speak to?
Oh, I speak to Bear, man. And it's just like, look, there's a hierarchy of the kingship here. And we got to show that. Some men are kings of an island, we're king of the world. You know them ones. Up the shelves.
Where's the belt, mate? Where's the belt?
Yeah, bro. The belt's still here. Belt's still here. I just need to find a spot to put it on my wall now.
I'm trying to think. Where could you put that? You could put that. Why don't you put it underneath the medals?
I'm thinking, but I've got to move my chair a bit forward so I don't keep whacking into the thing. That'd be the only problem.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just find a wall, make a big space on a wall or something. No, we'll re-sort everything during the break. We'll figure it out.
Well, hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. That was the most natural conversation I've had on stream in a while without. Yeah. This is like a call that I've just called you on the phone, mate. I didn't even think we were recording. That's how this conversation
is therapeutic. Felt. Very therapeutic. I just literally went for 15 minutes immediately just venting.
Oh, yeah. I was like, just let him speak. Fair enough.
Fucking shit, man. But hey, big up to everyone for talking like shit for 24 hours. That Twitter's just been such a nightmare. Dumb take after dumb take after dumb take. Oh, they ignored his tactics in the World Cup final. No, we played someone with a higher line, you stupid prick. Fucking hell, man. You know what, man? Like Rance was correct. Like some man are just too stupid to conversate with. It's like the whole set thing in school. When you're a set 1 guy, you shouldn't be having like deep conversations with the set 8 kids. Just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them play with their toys or just stare at the sky or something.
God.
Ooh, a
well,
butterfly or some shit.
Well, if you made it through the episode, I want to take my hat off to you. I don't have a hat, so if you made it through, because this has been a, I don't know why I feel depressed. Lewis, you've made me depressed.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame Clear Lake. Blame Win Stupid.
Win Stupid.
It's their fault.
Well, listen, we're gonna wrap it up there, mate. I need something positive now. I'm gonna watch some videos of cats or something. Big up to everyone that's watched, and enjoy the rest of your day.